Alright, boys, listen up. We need to find another way to milk Ultraman. We've already done plenty of ulra-acts, and we can't do a 3.0, so I need to hear some ideas.
Gentlemen, we are out of repaint options. And why bother with accessory sets?
We could make a stupid web-exclusive repaint with accessories the figure should have came with in the first place.
I like where you're going with that, but we tried it with you and all the 3 people bought it.
Maybe a 2-pack with another Ultra. But the paint may lack and the mold's probably broken.
Clearly we should make a kaiju.
No, stop making good suggestions!
With that, it seems there's nothing left to suckle.
If only the answer were simple to scam collectors.
Sup, bitches? Hello, collectors, one and all, and welcome to my review of the SH Figuarts Ultraman. This review is of both the standalone figure and the 50th anniversary set with more accessories. This first Ultra release in the SHF line has stirred up a bit of controversy with the now seemingly dead ulra-act line, new engineering, and size reduction. But is all of the hubbub really worth it? Well, sit back, relax, shwatch, and let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. One of the main draws of the SHF line, most specifically the newer Kamen Rider ones, is accurate sculpt and detailing, and for the most part Ultraman here nails it, taking details from the Type C design of the original suit. However, and this seems to be across the board with other figures, the paint sucks. Bandai, what the frickety frack going down the track are you doing, Holmes? So, like I said, Type C suit, and the face pretty much nails it with the translucent eyes, very neat. But as you can see at the chest here, rather sloppy. They still can't get the paint in the sculpt marks. The hell? The finer eye will even catch some serious paint issues on the right arm, as you can see here. Total bullshit, to be honest, and on top of that, there's a bubble on the forearm. It doesn't stop there. The hips look fine at a quick glance, but look closer and you'll see paint bleed and hair stuck in the paint. So Bandai's using NECA's factories now, or what? Can somebody explain this to me? Yeah. Moving down, rather unremarkable to be honest. The back fin looks nice, standard paint apps, nothing to really report there, but there's something I want to talk about a little bit later for the looks. Anyway, sculpt is nice, paint sucks. For articulation, those who are familiar with ulra-act should pretty much know what you're getting into for the Figuarts Ultraman, however there are some small differences. So first up we have the head, which is actually attached on a swivel. As you'll see here, you can pop the head off. It's an actual peg, and there's a little hinge that allows you to move the head forward and back. Now the head is supposed to pop off because Zoffy comes with an alternate attachment head for Ultraman. So don't be surprised if the head pops off once or twice. It's not super loose, but it is intended to pop off. The neck is actually plugged into the body on a ball joint, so this way you can get Ultraman to look up like that and look down. So we get lots of cool movement, especially when we move the head left and right. Now the shoulders are attached into the body on a ball joint, however mine are super stiff and they really don't want to move at all, which is a bit worrisome because there might be somebody who doesn't know their action figures. Yeah, as you can see here, let's see if that works. Yeah, I have to put a lot of force into moving that ball joint in the shoulder, and I'm afraid that that's going to break. So yeah, doesn't win points there. But the actual shoulder is a hinge, so hopefully this will work. Yeah, you can raise and lower Ultraman's arms, and as you'll see in the upcoming comparison, yeah, that's kind of limited. But what's not really limited is the fact that we get a bicep swivel, which that really helps with the articulation, especially if you have one of the shoulder joints which doesn't work too well. And then we actually have double hinged elbows, but unfortunately because of the sculpt, you're not able to get a full range of movement like you would out of the ulra-acts. But something that kind of makes up for this, and as you can see here, we actually get an elbow swivel. Yeah, that's really impressive. I wasn't expecting something like this to be on the final product because it was shown on the prototype, but it is cool to see that actually make it to the final product. We do have ball joint hands, which feature swivels, so you can spin them around a little bit, get some decent movement, not too much, but we have alternate hand parts for that, which is pretty cool. We do have an ab crunch, which is a ball joint, and we do have a waist joint, which is also a ball joint, so you can get Ultraman to bend back like that, and bend forward there, twist and turn from side to side. Standard movement there. Now, biggest point of controversy for the new Figuarts Ultraman figures, the hips. Some already love them, some hate them, but let's take a look. They're loose, but they're not. What? All right. So you can raise and lower the legs, simple and easy. Those are the swivels. But take a look at this. Yeah, what's up with that? They hold their pose pretty well, but they kind of flap all over the place. That's not very good. Yeah, mileage may vary there. But aside from the swivel that allows you to move Ultraman's legs forward and back, we do get a hinge to allow you to move it from side to side like so. And then the legs, the thighs specifically, plug into the hips on swivels. So you can spin the legs around a little bit. Not full range of movement there. At least I can't get a full range of movement. It feels like there's a little bit of pressure there. I don't want to snap that. So we have double jointed hinged knees. Squeaky, squeaky. Which is not a bad thing. Not at all. We get the standard swivel hinge for the ankles. So you get ankle rocker movement. And then we get a toe hinge. Up, but not down. So overall, the articulation for Ultraman is pretty good. And when you compare it to the Renewal ulra-act, some places it wins, some it doesn't. Now that we've seen what the SH offers in terms of looks and movability, let's do the major comparison, side by side with the ulra-act Renewal. In general, we know that the Renewal is bigger, but in terms of quality control, they're arguably the same. What's odd enough, though, is the SHF goes for more accuracy in the design, and it's supposed to be better articulated. However, in some of these shots here, with a side-by-side comparison, we can see, well, that's not really the case mostly. The joints generally have less range of movement, which is rather disappointing. Even with some of the odd poses showcasing the general range of movement, the SHF just simply falls short all around. Getting down to accessories, there are two versions of Ultraman. The 50th Anniversary Edition and the Standard Ultraman come with everything you see here. Two sets of alternate hands, the Specium Ray, the Rebound Laser, Ultra Barrier, whatever you want to call it, sheet, and the Color Timer. For the 50th Anniversary set, we get a special Tamashii Option Act building in special colors, a Tamashii Stage 4 support system, an extra set of hands, and one Alien Balton Spaceship. We'll look at the accessories in relative order. For the hands, they look great. We get default fists, splayed hands, chopping hands, and slightly splayed hands in the anniversary set for grabbing the spaceship. Great for exciting poses. The hands feature some great detail. They actually look like gloves to go with the suit. They feature small little cracks and folds. The attention to detail is really nicely done here. To swap out the hands, it's the standard fare. Just pop them off at the wrist and pop on the new ones. It can be a little tricky doing it with this figure, so be careful not to break the wrist peg. Next up, we have the Color Timer. If you're familiar with the ulra-act stuff, you know how this is going to go. However, this one can be a royal pain in the ass to pull out, because you need to pull at the chest with your nails. However, once you do pop it out, it's easy to swap out time and time again. Next, we have the Specium Ray. Instead of a blue color like the previous Ultraman figures from Bandai, it's a white color. The sculpt is pretty neat, and it's very long, which makes it great for displays. To get Ultraman to use it, it's the same process as swapping out the hands. Pull the right hand off, and pop the hand with the ray on. As you can see here, it looks great when you have Ultraman posed like he's firing it, and it makes a nice display piece. The rebound sheet is easy enough to use, just slide it into its base. The detailing on it is alright, it's printing on a thin sheet of plastic, but as you can see here, it gets the job done well enough. As a side note, this Ultraman can utilize the accessories which came with previous ulra-act releases of Ultraman, the Specium Ray and the Ultra Slash specifically for the 2.0. Proportionately, it's not the best fit when looking at it up close, but as seen here, from a little bit of a distance away, it looks just fine. Up next, the accessories exclusive to the anniversary set. We get a building set first and foremost. There isn't too much to say here in terms of detail, but there is a cool little feature. On top of all of the buildings, maybe the air conditioning unit or whatever you would call it, one of these squares, you can pull it off to reveal a hole for the support arm. Pretty sweet. Now, the set also comes with a few extra accessories which connects everything together. First, we get a sheet of plastic with a road printed on it, and this connects to two gray bases, which you can link them together. We also get 4 pegs which plug into the holes into the gray bases, and this is for the buildings. They have holes on the bottom of them, and as you see me doing here, you just plug the buildings onto these pegs, and you have a more professional diorama setup. We also get these little clips to make the support bases look like they're staggered a bit, and though I'm fumbling with them here, they're really helpful. You can link the bases in any way you see fit here, since underneath the bases are grid-like lines. Pretty neat. Last up, we have the Alien Bolt-On Spaceship, and I gotta say, this accessory is really, really cool. It's rather small, it's made of a hard plastic, but the details on this thing are great. The little starburst pattern at the top is really crisp and clean when it comes to paint applications, and I gotta say, it's wonderful. Now, something to note, you can get the spaceship to fly around on your display with a Tamashii Stage X support arm plugged into the back of it, and we do get one in this set along with a support claw, but we only get one arm, so you're going to have to be careful with how you display Ultraman, as you can see here. So all in all, the accessories are pretty solid. For around $50, the basic Ultraman, we don't get a whole lot, and it's not necessarily worth it, but for the extra $30 or so, I'd say it's worth it. Another support arm or two would be nice, but they gotta make money somehow. And here's a size comparison with some other figures you may have. As it's been said before, this is one small figure. So, buy it now, skip it, or wait for a deal. Looks-wise, nice sculpt, horse-pucky paint, articulation is alright, and accessories, depending on which version you get, are either okay or really well done. What it really comes down to, though, is the price. The standalone set, it's okay. The anniversary set, it's okay, but it's a little bit more justified. While it's a relatively solid option for the first SH Figuarts Ultraman figure, hopefully future releases will add on to this one. Fans will enjoy the set because it's not necessarily bad, but it could have been better. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below to share your thoughts. If you're interested in picking this figure up, or others like it, check the description for some cool links to take you where you need to go. Why don't you watch some more videos? Click the annotations on the screen now for more great content. Thanks again, and I'll catch ya in the next video.